Morning folks, it's Wednesday the 18th of June. Look at the state of my room. My fly time room's an absolute disgrace. Anyway, today I'm going to the river. I'm going to road test the leader Profile Selector 15-foot tapered leader. It's down to £3, this one for the dry fly. I just want to get my setup nailed before I go out to the evening rise the next time, and then I might come back and give my room a wee tidy up, but I don't want to be mental about it. We'll see how it goes. So right, I'll see you on the river. Bye. So I'm just going to set my 10-foot 3-weight up. Always start from the top and build it that way. I find it easier than putting the butt section on and the reel on first. Just lining up the eyes and put the end section on and line all that up. That's the way I like to do it. Now I've got a 3-weight line here. This is my Marriott Tactical 10-foot 3-weight. It's a good nymphing and dry fly rod. It's not a pure Euro nymphing rod because it's got the uplock and reel seat, and it doesn't have the first eyelet here to stop, you know, line sagging. So it's a good all-round rod. So I'm going to use a different leader today. I'm going to show you that. I'll just thread this through. I don't know if you remember on one of my videos I snapped my fly line bizarrely. So I bought this really cheap one from Max Catch. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a really good line. I'm maybe missing something with expensive lines, but I'm sure this will wear out quicker, but it's about a tiny fraction of the price, but I can't fault it anyway. Right, so that's the line threaded through. I'm going to use I usually use a 9 or a 12-foot leader and snip it down at either end, but I'm using this 15-foot knotless steep tapered cast from a leader. I just fancied having a look at it, and I won't be fishing it. It comes down to £3, which is a little bit light for what I'm going to be doing. So always put your hand inside it like that to stop it knotting up when you take it to bits. There's the fat end. Yeah, I usually snip off the thicker end because it's too thick, but this actually feels okay. So in fact, yeah, let me just have a look. Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to leave that. I'm quite impressed with that. Just give it a wee stretch on the way out. And now we come down to the business end. Still keeping it looped over my fingers to stop it knotting up. It's very fine at the end, so I'm going to take some of that fine stuff off. Right, let's get it put on. So you've got a loop on the end of your fly line and a loop on your leader. Just stick the leader loop over the fly line loop and then feed your leader through the hole and then cinch it down. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll just give you a better view in a second. They cinch down together, give a really secure hold, but I like that. I usually take off this thick section about a foot so it's more manageable, but I really like that. So thumbs up so far, and they're cheap as chips. I've got a knot in it already. Yeah, I'll tell you, I've taken off just a foot off the end. It doesn't feel too bad at all. I'm gonna give that a whirl. See how we get on. Right, I'm going to use the same sparkle caddis that I used. Sorry, it's not a sparkle caddis. I'm going to use the same sparkle dun that I used on my dry fly fishing video from 2 nights ago. It just sits in the film really nicely, and the fish are quite spooky. In fact, they're very spooky here. Everybody walks their dogs, lets the dogs swim. All the kids swim here. There's lots of ducks, people come down and feed them, and then all the local kids come down here and fish, so I need to clean out this eye, excuse me a second. It's maybe got varnish in it or something. Yeah, it does. Just use that pointy bit of my nipper's tool. I just needed to snip the rough end off that so I could get it through this tiny little eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns round each other, back through the loop, and then wet the knot with saliva just to help it cinch down so it doesn't melt with the heat of the friction. Snip off the tag end. I'm going to apply some floatant to it. Well, I can't see any fish rising, but there will be, I would think. Apply some floatant. I always stick it on the back of my hand rather than in between my fingers, and then use it from there. Use my left hand so I'm not getting floatant all over my leader, and then I've still got the rest there if I need it. Right, take my specs off, put my Polaroids on. Let's go in and see if we can find a fish. I can't really see the river because the reeds are so high, but I'll climb down here. Oh, the dogs go. The dogs get into the river. So as I say, the fish are really spooky here. Oh, this leader's so long. It's stuck. Here we go. So I haven't put an additional section of tippet onto this leader. This is just the 15-foot leader with about a foot snipped off the end. It's kind of practice cast. Yeah, lots of slack built in there. Gives me lots of distance from these spooky fish. I'm just going to work my way up and wait for the fish. I'm not seeing anything. Just fish it blind just now. Just fish this edge all the way up, I think. Until I see rising fish. Might be a long day, might be a long video. You know, I could have fished duo here and hung a nymph underneath the dry, but I didn't want to. I might have caught fish like that, but I don't care. I was quite happy hanging a dry fly out. I wanted to get this set up sorted before I go for the evening rise again. I'm happy with the fly pattern. I'm happy with my setup. I'm more than happy actually with that leader. Fish just aren't playing ball. There'll be nymphing underneath the surface, I'm sure, but nice to cover the feeding fish. But they're just coming at once. It's so frustrating. There's a fish there. There's obviously, hopefully, something happening. Looks about in the right area. There we go. At last. Just a wee one. You could be the hardest to catch fish ever. Let's see. Yeah, let's fly out. Raise away. Just a wee thing. Evening, folks. I'm back. I'm trying to tidy up my room, but you can see I've just been reading books and getting distracted. I just wanted to give a quick update about the leaders. I bought them in two sizes, £5 and £3 breaking strain. I was using the £3 one today, snipped off a bit off the end. The butt section was perfect. It's not too thick like some of them are. It's got the loop on it. Wait till I turn this round so you can. It's better. So, and this is my fly tying room. It's an absolute shit hole, but yeah, there we go. So that the butt section is not too thick. It's perfect. I had the loop and I used that. Sometimes I'll just snip off another lead, just snip it off and tie it onto the loop. But this was perfect. The tip at the end was a little bit thin, but you know, you can just add a section of your own size, tip it on there. That was perfect length. It turned over flies perfectly. There was no twisting. Sometimes I found that when I build my own leaders, they're just, all the blood knots that you have to put in just catch the tippet. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm not sponsored, I don't get any money for this, I'm not endorsing it, I'm just saying it's a really good leader, and if you're looking for a dry fly solution, this might be the one. As it gets wind knots, which it invariably will with my shite casting, I'll just snip that bit off and tie on a corresponding bit of tippet to extend the length of it and the lifetime of that leader. I'm really happy with it. £2.99. That's magic. So I'll be using that on my dry fly setup from now on. Hopefully I'll get more fish. I did switch to the Euro nymphing rod earlier today and caught some fish that way. I might put up a video, I'll see. But anyway, I'm out of bed. Cheers.